Doctors say these 6 normal bathroom habits could be secretly raising your blood pressure without you even realizing it. Are you making one of these risky mistakes every single day? These habits might seem harmless, but they can silently stress your heart, especially after 60. Stick around, because number 5 is something almost everyone does, and it might be doing more harm than good. Let's dive in. Welcome to Thrive Senior Advice, your trusted space for staying healthy, happy, and empowered after 50. If you're focused on living well in your golden years, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. You're in the right place. Today, we're diving into something most people never think twice about: your bathroom habits. Believe it or not, doctors warn that 6 common routines in the bathroom could be quietly raising your blood pressure. These habits feel normal, even harmless, but they could be putting extra stress on your heart, especially as we age. The good news? Once you know what they are, they're easy to change. Be sure to stick around until the end, because the final habit is something almost everyone has done in the last few days, and it might just surprise you. Let's get started. 1. Straining on the toilet, constipation, and blood pressure spikes. Let's start with something most people don't like to talk about, but absolutely should. The first bathroom habit that could be putting your heart at risk is straining on the toilet. Now, it might not seem like a big deal at first. After all, constipation is common as we get older, right? But here's what most people don't realize. Straining while trying to have a bowel movement puts significant pressure on your body, especially your heart. When you strain, you're actually performing something called the Valsalva maneuver. It's when you hold your breath and push. It temporarily increases pressure inside your chest, which can cause your blood pressure to spike suddenly and dramatically. For someone already dealing with high blood pressure or fragile blood vessels, this can be dangerous, even triggering dizziness, fainting, or in extreme cases, heart complications. Ask yourself this: have you ever felt lightheaded or slightly out of breath after going to the bathroom? That's your body telling you it's under stress. And while it might pass quickly, the damage from repeated strain can build over time. As we age, digestion slows down. Our bodies don't process food as quickly, and if we're not drinking enough water, moving regularly, or eating fiber-rich foods, things can get backed up. Add certain medications, like iron supplements or calcium, and you've got a recipe for chronic constipation. So what can you do about it? The good news is there are simple, natural fixes. First, hydrate. Most seniors don't drink enough water throughout the day. Aim for about 6 to 8 glasses, unless your doctor advises otherwise. Even mild dehydration can harden your stool, making it much harder to pass. Second, increase fiber. Add more fruits, vegetables, and whole grains to your meals. A bowl of oatmeal, some prunes, or a handful of berries can go a long way. Fiber keeps things moving by softening the stool and giving your gut what it needs to stay active. Third, change your posture. Sitting in a traditional 90-degree angle on the toilet doesn't allow your body to fully relax. That's why more and more doctors recommend using a footstool. Yes, just a small step stool under your feet. This helps you adopt more of a squatting position, which aligns your colon more naturally. The result? Less strain, easier passage, and a much gentler experience for your body. You may feel awkward trying this at first, but once you do, you might be surprised at how much better and faster things move. Also, try to avoid rushing. If you don't feel the urge, don't force it. And if you're constipated for more than a few days, talk to your doctor. Over-the-counter solutions can help occasionally, but shouldn't become a long-term crutch. Here's a simple truth: you shouldn't have to struggle in the bathroom. If you're consistently straining, your body is giving you a sign. And ignoring that sign doesn't just lead to discomfort. It could raise your blood pressure and stress your heart unnecessarily. Let's break the silence around this topic and start treating it with the seriousness it deserves, without embarrassment. Taking care of your bathroom habits is just as important as taking your medications or going for a walk. So let me ask you this: have you found something that helps with regularity? A favorite meal, a daily habit, or something your doctor recommended? Let us know in the comments below. You never know who you might help by sharing your story. And don't worry, here we talk about the things that really matter. No judgment, just real advice for living better after 50. Now, ready for the next habit? Because the next one might be something you've never considered. A blood pressure trigger, but it is. Let's move on. 2. Rushing through morning hygiene, stress surge. Let's talk about your mornings. Are they calm, steady, and peaceful? Or rushed, tense, and chaotic? You might be surprised to hear this, but one of the most overlooked causes of elevated blood pressure in older adults happens before you even leave the bathroom, rushing through your morning hygiene routine. Now, at first glance, it might not sound serious. You're just brushing your teeth, washing your face, maybe taking a quick shower. But how you do these things matters more than most people realize, because the pace of your morning routine can actually set the tone for your body's stress levels the entire day. Here's why. When you rush, especially early in the day, your body releases a hormone called cortisol. This is your stress hormone, and while it plays an important role in helping you wake up and get moving, elevated cortisol levels are directly linked to spikes in blood pressure. When your body perceives urgency or pressure, it tightens blood vessels and increases heart rate, just in case you need to react quickly. It's part of your natural fight or flight system. But in our modern lives, that same system gets triggered by things like feeling late, skipping steps to save time, multitasking in the bathroom, mentally running through your to-do list while brushing your teeth. And for seniors, whose bodies are more sensitive to changes in blood pressure, this can become a daily strain on your heart and nervous system. Think about it. Have you ever noticed how your heart beats just a little faster when you're rushing to get ready? Or how your shoulders tense up as you try to shave, dress, or get organized in a hurry? These small stressors may not feel dramatic in the moment, but over time, they add up. Repeated cortisol spikes in the morning can lead to chronically elevated blood pressure, disrupted sleep patterns, and even lower immune function. The solution? It's simpler than you think. Slow down. Start by giving yourself a little more time in the morning. That doesn't mean waking up 2 hours earlier. Just 10 to 15 extra minutes can make a huge difference. Use that time to move at a more relaxed pace. Here are a few small changes that can help. Brush your teeth mindfully. Focus on the motion, breathe slowly, and don't rush to the next task. Stretch your body. Even a few neck or shoulder rolls can release tension. Avoid multitasking. You don't need to check your phone. Plan your grocery list and clean the mirror all at once. Try calming scents. A lavender-scented soap or a few deep breaths with essential oils can help shift your mood. Play soft background music or simply enjoy the quiet. These aren't luxuries, they're small, intentional ways to signal to your nervous system that it's safe to relax. And a relaxed body means a lower baseline blood pressure throughout the day. One powerful habit many seniors find helpful is creating a simple morning ritual. It doesn't need to be fancy, just something you enjoy that grounds you before the day begins. Maybe it's sitting with a warm cup of tea. Maybe it's a quick gratitude list. Maybe it's simply taking your time in the bathroom without rushing. Whatever it is, make it yours. You've earned it. You've spent decades putting others first, meeting deadlines, and staying on schedule. Now is the time to build routines that serve your peace, not your calendar. So let me ask you, what's your morning ritual? Do you have a favorite way to start the day slowly? I'd love for you to share it in the comments. You never know who might find inspiration in what works for you. And if you don't have one yet, this might be your sign to create one. Coming up next, we're diving into a bathroom habit that might surprise you. You probably do it every day without thinking, but it could be forcing your blood pressure to fluctuate more than you realize. Stick with me. 3. Taking hot showers first thing. Vasodilation BP drop reflex spike. Let's talk about something that feels like a comfort, but might actually be working against your heart health. Do you start your day with a hot shower? If so, you're not alone. For many people, especially seniors, a hot shower first thing in the morning feels like a soothing ritual. It wakes up your muscles, relaxes stiff joints, and helps ease you into the day. But here's what doctors want you to know. Hot showers can silently affect your blood pressure, and not in the way most people think. Here's what happens inside your body. When you step into a hot shower, the heat causes your blood vessels to dilate. That means they widen. This process, called vasodilation, lowers your blood pressure temporarily because your blood has more room to flow. Now, that might sound like a good thing, but for seniors, especially those taking blood pressure medications, this sudden drop can be risky. Your body doesn't like big changes in blood pressure. So when it senses that pressure has dropped too low, it kicks in a response. Your heart starts beating faster, trying to stabilize things. This creates a kind of roller coaster effect, a quick drop, followed by a sudden spike. That spike? It's your body working overtime to correct the change. And over time, that kind of internal stress wears on your cardiovascular system. This effect is even more pronounced if you shower early in the morning when your blood pressure is naturally lower, take medication that already lowers your BP, are dehydrated from the night before, stand in the shower for long periods without moving. Have you ever stepped out of a hot shower and felt lightheaded, shaky, or unsteady on your feet? That's not just steam or relaxation. It could be a blood pressure dip, followed by an overcorrection. So what's the solution? Thankfully, you don't have to give up your morning shower altogether. You just need to make a few adjustments. White heavy checkmark tip number 1. Lower the temperature slightly. Aim for warm, not hot, water. If your skin is turning red or you feel flushed, the water is likely too hot. You should feel comforted, not overheated. White heavy checkmark tip number 2. Limit the length. Try to keep your shower to 5 to 10 minutes. Longer exposure increases the chance of a bigger blood pressure drop. If you like to linger, consider doing so after your body is already fully awake and moving, not first thing. White heavy checkmark tip number 3. Sit if needed. If you ever feel unstable or faint in the shower, consider using a shower chair or stool. It's not a sign of weakness, it's a smart way to stay safe, especially if you live alone or have had previous dizzy spells. White heavy checkmark tip number 4. Hydrate first. Before heading into the bathroom, drink a small glass of water. Morning dehydration can amplify drops in blood pressure. A little hydration goes a long way in stabilizing your system. White heavy checkmark tip number 5. Transition slowly. After showering, dry off gently and sit down for a moment before going about your day. Let your body adjust before moving quickly from the heat into a cooler environment. The goal here isn't to scare you, it's to help you feel more in control of the little habits that quietly affect your health. And for many people, shifting from hot to warm showers can make a noticeable difference in how they feel. Less fatigue, more balance, and fewer dizzy spells. Now I'd love to hear from you. Do you prefer hot or cold showers? Or somewhere in between? Let's compare habits in the comments. Your routine might help someone else rethink theirs. Remember, protecting your heart doesn't always require big changes. Sometimes it's the small, consistent shifts, like adjusting your shower temperature, that make the biggest difference in the long run. Coming up next, a common habit. You've probably never connected to blood pressure, but it has everything to do with how you move and breathe. Let's keep going. 4. Holding your breath while standing or sitting down. Here's a small habit that almost no one thinks about, but your heart definitely notices it. Have you ever stood up from a chair or sat down too quickly and suddenly felt lightheaded, dizzy, or like the room shifted just a little? It's easy to blame it on age or tiredness, but often, the real issue is something much simpler, something you're doing without even realizing it. Holding your breath. Yes, just holding your breath while moving, especially when sitting or standing, can silently spike your blood pressure and throw your body out of balance. Here's what's happening in your body. When you hold your breath and exert effort, like pushing yourself up from a low chair, sitting down into bed, or even reaching down to tie your shoes, you're likely performing what doctors call the Valsalva maneuver. This is a natural but risky reflex, where you hold your breath and tense your muscles to complete a task. It increases pressure in your chest and restricts blood flow to the heart for a moment. When you finally breathe again, the blood rushes back, and that sudden change causes a spike in blood pressure. Now, for a healthy younger person, this might go unnoticed. But for older adults, especially those with high blood pressure, heart conditions, or on medications that affect circulation, that spike can lead to feeling faint, dizziness, heart palpitations, dangerous changes in blood pressure. And the real danger is, we do it without realizing it. Think about it. Have you ever found yourself grunting, holding your breath, or bracing while standing up from a low toilet or reaching for something on the floor? This habit is more common than you think, especially when joints feel stiff or balance isn't what it used to be. But the more you do it, the more your body gets used to these little surges of pressure. And over time, that adds stress to your cardiovascular system. So what's the solution? Thankfully, it's easy to fix once you become aware of it. White heavy checkmark tip number 1. Breathe steadily, especially when moving. Before you sit down or stand up, take a deep breath in. And as you begin to move, exhale slowly. Keep the breath moving. This helps your heart and blood vessels adjust smoothly and avoid sudden spikes. White heavy checkmark tip number 2. Move mindfully and slowly. There's no race to win. When sitting or standing, give your body a few extra seconds. Rushing increases the chance of breath holding and throws off your balance. Make it a habit to pause, breathe, then move. White heavy checkmark tip number 3. Use support if needed. Grab a sturdy chair or rail if you're transitioning from a low position. Supporting your weight with your arms helps take pressure off your core muscles, so you're less likely to brace and hold your breath. White heavy checkmark tip number 4. Practice breath awareness. Throughout the day, do a few check-ins with your breath. Are you holding it during everyday tasks like reaching, bending, or stretching? Just noticing it is the first step toward retraining your body. White heavy checkmark tip number 5. Try gentle mobility exercises. Adding simple seated stretches or standing movements to your daily routine can strengthen your legs and core, making transitions easier and smoother without the need for strain. And if you've been feeling more dizzy than usual, or having trouble getting up and down without effort, bring it up with your doctor. Sometimes, subtle blood pressure fluctuations need to be monitored more closely, especially if you're on certain medications or have a history of falls. The bottom line? Breathing is automatic, but the way we breathe when we move matters more than we think. The simple act of remembering to exhale while standing or sitting can keep your blood pressure steadier, your balance stronger, and your heart safer. So let me ask you, have you ever felt lightheaded or dizzy when standing up? It might be more than just getting up too fast. Share your experience in the comments. Your insight could really help someone else feel less alone. Coming up next, a surprising habit that might be hiding in your hand while you're in the bathroom, and it could be affecting your blood pressure more than you think. Let's keep going. 5. Using your phone on the toilet, long sitting time. Here's one of the most common habits almost everyone has fallen into at some point: using your phone while sitting on the toilet. It may feel like harmless multitasking, a chance to catch up on messages, scroll social media, or read the news while taking care of business. But doctors are warning that this habit could be quietly causing dangerous blood pressure fluctuations, especially for seniors. Here's why. When you sit on the toilet for longer than necessary, several things happen inside your body that can spike your blood pressure. First, the position itself encourages venous pooling, which means blood starts to collect in your legs and pelvic area because the veins aren't helping push it back up efficiently. Second, prolonged sitting can cause tension and straining, especially if you're constipated or pushing harder than usual. This strain raises the pressure inside your chest and abdomen, which can send your blood pressure soaring. Combined, these effects create a kind of pressure roller coaster that stresses your heart and blood vessels, sometimes without you even realizing it. Let's be honest for a moment. Have you ever lost track of time scrolling on your phone while sitting on the toilet? Maybe a quick 5 minutes turned into 15 or 20. It's an easy habit to fall into. Our phones are designed to be addictive. They grab our attention and make time disappear. But this bathroom multitasking can put unnecessary strain on your cardiovascular system. The longer you sit, the more you risk blood pooling in your legs, making it harder for blood to circulate properly. Increased straining or holding your breath, which we talked about earlier. Sudden spikes in blood pressure that can lead to dizziness, headaches, or worse. This is especially important for seniors who may already have weakened veins, circulation issues, or high blood pressure. So what's the solution? White heavy checkmark tip number 1. Limit your bathroom time. Try to keep your visits to the toilet brief and purposeful. Aim for under 10 minutes. If you find yourself distracted by your phone, try leaving it outside the bathroom or putting it on Do Not Disturb mode. White heavy checkmark tip number 2. Stay mindful while on the toilet. Focus on relaxing your body rather than rushing or straining. If you feel tense or uncomfortable, pause and breathe deeply to help ease pressure. White heavy checkmark tip number 3. Adopt a better posture. If you're struggling with constipation or straining, try using a small footstool to mimic a squatting position. This aligns your colon better and helps stool pass more easily, reducing the need to push. White heavy checkmark tip number 4. Hydrate and eat fiber-rich foods. Making your bowel movements easier can reduce time spent sitting and straining. Drinking plenty of water and eating fruits, vegetables, and whole grains helps keep things moving smoothly. White heavy checkmark tip number 5. Create a no-phone rule. Try setting a personal rule. The bathroom is a phone-free zone. Use that time as a mini moment of calm. No distractions, no stress, just focus on your body's signals. This small change might seem simple, but it can have a big impact on your heart health and blood pressure stability. Remember, these everyday habits add up. Your heart isn't just affected by what you eat or how much you exercise. How you treat your body during daily routines matters just as much. So I'm curious, be honest, have you ever lost track of time scrolling on your phone while in the bathroom? Let me know in the comments below. You're not alone, and sharing can help others become aware of this common pitfall. Coming up next, the final and most surprising bathroom habit that many seniors struggle with, even though it's been happening to you all week. Stay tuned. 6. Ignoring the urge to go, urinary retention stress. Here's one more bathroom habit that many seniors might not realize is affecting their blood pressure, and it happens more often than you think. Have you ever ignored the urge to urinate because you were busy, didn't want to interrupt something, or thought, I can wait a little longer? It might seem harmless or just a normal part of life, but holding in your urine regularly can actually cause a temporary spike in blood pressure and, over time, lead to bigger problems with bladder control. Here's the science behind it. When you hold your urine, your bladder stretches beyond its comfortable limit. This triggers your body's sympathetic nervous system, the part that controls your fight or flight response. This activation causes your blood vessels to constrict and your heart to beat faster, both of which raise your blood pressure temporarily. Imagine your bladder sending a warning alarm to your brain that it's under pressure, and your body reacting as if it's facing a threat. That's a lot of stress on your cardiovascular system, especially if it happens repeatedly throughout the day. For seniors who may already have blood pressure concerns or weaker bladder muscles, this habit can make things worse. Ignoring the urge doesn't just affect your blood pressure, it can also lead to chronic bladder stretching that weakens the muscles, increased risk of urinary retention problems and infections, overactive bladder symptoms like sudden urgency or leaks. Over time, this cycle of holding and stress can make bladder control harder, impacting your quality of life and increasing anxiety around bathroom visits. So what's the best way to protect your heart and your bladder? White heavy checkmark tip number 1. Respond promptly to your body's signals. When you feel the urge, try to go to the bathroom as soon as you can. Don't push it aside or wait too long. White heavy checkmark tip number 2. Set a regular bathroom schedule. If you find it hard to respond right away, maybe because you're busy or worried about access, try setting reminders every 2 to 3 hours. This helps train your bladder and reduces the risk of holding too long. White heavy checkmark tip number 3. Stay well hydrated, but not overly so. Drinking enough water is important to keep your body healthy and your urine diluted, but avoid excessive fluids right before bedtime to reduce nighttime trips. White heavy checkmark tip number 4. Practice relaxation techniques. If you feel anxious about bathroom visits, breathing exercises or mindfulness can help ease tension and prevent your nervous system from overreacting. White heavy checkmark tip number 5. Talk with your healthcare provider if you notice changes. If you're experiencing frequent urgency, difficulty starting urination, or leaks, it's important to get checked. These issues can often be managed with lifestyle changes or treatments. Remember, your body is sending signals for a reason, and listening to them helps you stay in balance. Ignoring that urge might seem like a small thing, but it can ripple through your health in ways you don't expect. So let me ask you, are you staying hydrated and responding regularly? What habits help you keep your bathroom routine on track? Share your thoughts in the comments. We learn best when we share together. That wraps up our list of 6 everyday bathroom habits that doctors warn may be secretly spiking your blood pressure. If any of these hit home, try making one small change today. You might feel lighter, calmer, and healthier sooner than you think. And remember, your heart health is in your hands, even during the smallest moments of your day. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, share with a friend, and subscribe for more life-changing tips from Thrive Senior Advice. Thanks for watching, and here's to your health and happiness after 50.